We are live. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. We should be live on Twitter as well. Looking forward to everybody tapping in and all of that. Excited to get this thing rolling. It's your boy G, along with Alec, another episode of Section 300. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Continue to show love also on LA Sports Report. A lot of great stuff continue to go on there on all platforms. Excited to continue to build that up as things go along. We're here today, excited. Another week of LA Lakers basketball has gone down, and love what I've been seeing so far, at least in the last week. We talked last weekend, right before this stretch they went on. Not sure if they're going to go 2-2. Not sure if they were going to go 2-1. We weren't sure how things were going to play out. But they've been playing well this last week and really turned up as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. And folks are now confused a little bit about what the Lakers squad is going to do next. There's a lot of rumors about what we're going to do. There was a loud noise about making moves and all of that, but they started to play well. That noise, people now, has been from clear demands to what's the truth. So I'll toss that to you, Alec. Looking at how the team has played in the last week, do you think the Lakers need a trade or not with how they've been playing?
Yeah, well, first we'll start off with those last four games. They did go 2-2, as we said they would,
Right.
but these last two have been very positive. So I think that's, in terms of how Lakers Nation kind of reacts to games and regular season games throughout the season, it can be very doom and gloom. So seeing those positive games, especially that blowout over the Mavericks, has Lakers fans feeling a little bit better, especially about individual pieces like D'Angelo.
Correct.
Who was inserted back into the starting lineup in that Utah Jazz game and remains in that lineup for these past three games.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that this team has found a bit more of their rhythm and have a good chemistry with that unit with him in the starting lineup. So
right.
In terms of whether they still need a trade or not, yes, because ultimately this is still very similar to the team that they had last year, where they were able to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And I think with this team, as currently constructed, they could potentially get back there too. Might be a bit of a dogfight though, and we'll talk about a couple of the teams that might be ahead of them. But I think in order to be a championship team, they still need to make a trade.
Mm-hmm.
So my answer is definitely a resounding yes to that question.
I definitely do hear that. I definitely think we need a trade. I guess in reaction, while I do agree with you, just the news has shifted in the last week as well. There was a lot of talk about DeJounte Murray, and that's trade still on the table. I saw there was a rumor trade for D'Lo where it was like Deontay from the Hawks to LA for D'Angelo, JHS, and like a second round pick or something like that, which may have been denied, I believe. As obviously we still have D'Lo on the roster right now. There have been rumors about a potential D'Lo trade in that regard. But on a more, I guess, louder front recently, we've seen news about potentially Colin Sexton, Tyus Jones now. Went from these big name guys who were shooting for the moon with Zach LaVine and DeJounte, as we mentioned, and now it's guys of this nature who are not bad themselves, but don't have the same pull, I guess name-wise at least, as other guys we at first had on the table. So would any of these guys help us make that jump, or you think we need to shoot higher as we originally were?
I mean, Tyus specifically, I think is most productive, like as a point guard and distributor. So I don't know that like next to LeBron, that's something that we necessarily need
Sure.
at this point, because he's known for being a great playmaker and having a great assist to turnover ratio. But those skills that he brings, I don't think that are necessarily like the biggest compliments to what we need right now.
Sure.
Sexton has been playing really great basketball for Utah and probably deserves a starting spot somewhere.
It's a nice slam on Shea and Chat and the other night. He was open, yeah. So salute.
He did. He had a great highlight dunk there. But he's been rumored in Lakers talks before. I think maybe last season. I think he could be a helpful piece. I don't know necessarily that is the championship move either, like the checkmate move that we kind of talked about in past. But I do think that he could. I mean, because he's like a feisty defender on the perimeter, and he can create his own shot and create for others as well. So I think between these two, I'd probably prefer Sexton. But I do think going the 3-and-D route in terms of getting more shooting and fit alongside of LeBron and AD is still the best way to go. And if they do go for the bigger fish, DeJounte fit-wise, I think still makes the most sense. But he's been rumored for multiple teams, of course. Like I think Miami talks have heated up as Miami's looking to make a deal as well too.
Just themselves in the mix recently, I guess, and I'm sure that's smoke just to make somebody else up their offer. But yeah, folks are pushing hard for DeJounte right now. It seems like his time in Atlanta is wrapping up. He just ironically had a nice buzzer beater against somebody a couple days ago. So going out with a bang at least, and even then with a good memory. But yeah, we'll see what moves are made. And yeah, I do agree with you in that Sexton would be a good option if we have to make if there's a move like that on the table potentially. I don't think also it wouldn't be 1-for-1. We may also get another piece in that, which could be helpful. So seeing what all could come alongside him as well, I do think that could work out. So yeah, again, we'll see how that plays out. Interested to see how that goes. Also to that, taking a step back, as we said, the Lakers are starting to click right now and could work things out. As we look at things and who they may be going up against, just who do you look at as the top teams in the West right now? Even, I mean, you look at the standings, and with that, like who are making the trade to beat? Like, do you think we can't beat any of these teams with the rush we have now? And what player that we get could help us get past one of these top teams? If you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. The two teams that have gotten their wins against the last two games, the Thunder and the Mavericks, I don't necessarily worry about them. The Thunder have been great this season. Their youth, I think they're probably a year away from being like a championship contender, but they're gonna be feisty in the playoffs for sure. The Timberwolves been great most of the season. Like, they've figured out the chemistry with Rudy Gobert offensively and defensively. They still got to prove it to me, though. Not to say that they're not a great team, but they got to prove it in the playoffs because they've yet to do that. And I think with LeBron and AD, there's a certain level of confidence that you have there, despite some of the waffling that they may do during the regular season. There's a level of play that you expect to happen come playoff time. AD's been sensational all season, by the way, too. But you expect LeBron to kind of kick it up to another gear as well. So there's only a couple teams. The Nuggets, who are still my Western Conference favorite, probably championship favorite. The Clippers on paper, but they also are in a prove-it situation, like I said, to the Timberwolves.
After this.
I think they're a bad matchup for the Lakers if they're completely healthy. But we've seen the shortcomings of Harden and guys like that come crunch time. So they still are in a prove-it scenario, but I think that's a team that the Lakers should be concerned about. Beyond those two, can you pull up the standings again? Beyond those two, I don't think the Lakers should necessarily like fear anyone. I think every other team is beatable. It is a team that they would beat in a 7-game series.
Got it. And for those top teams that you mentioned that could be a real threat to us, again, to our trade questions and all of that, would adding a Levine get us over the hump of those squads? Would adding a DeJounte get us over the hump of those squads? Or you still think we'd be behind a bit in that race?
See, I think adding Levine is almost like the Suns adding Bradley Beal. Like, you're adding a really good offensive talent at the 2 as well, ironically, but I don't think that necessarily puts you over the top. Like, they both have their defensive shortcomings. They both aren't great playmakers. They can play make, but more so for themselves. Go for it.
It's just saying health-wise, if he's going to be out for another 2 weeks, I think it is. So both have injury concerns. So I really understand that.
Concerns too. Yeah. So I see it very analogous to a Bradley Beal type move where people are going to be like, oh man, like they got 3 superstar offensive talents now, but you see the shortcomings there with that trio as well too. So it might be more like cosmetically pleasing for people, but I don't think Zach LaVine like automatically makes them the favorite in the West.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. It's more fan service at that point than I think it actually is for the team. I think they still stay at somewhat the same level with a guy like LaVine in the building instead of the package we may send out. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. The last question that I had in regards to the Lakers was, if the team does stay together, how much faith do you have that we can continue what we've been playing at least the last couple of days? Can we continue that on throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, just in terms of the consistency of finishing out the regular season.
Yeah, do you think we can make a real push with this team as constructed? Or you think, we already discussed it, but just what faith would you have if we didn't make a move at the deadline?
Yeah, if they continue with this, as it seems that Ham is starting to shorten the rotation a little bit, or at least figure out the combinations of guys he wants to have at the floor at certain points in the game.
Sure.
That's great to see. D'Lo playing confidently and more freely on offense is great. So, like, if they were to keep him past the trade deadline, I think they'd be great for the regular season. I just think there'd be a ceiling on this team in the playoffs that is probably Western Conference Finals. But yeah, I think as currently constructed, they would finish out this season strongly. Maybe not getting to the top 4 seed that I initially envisioned them because the West is so loaded in a bloodbath. But I think somewhere in that 5 to 8 range, they'd probably be finishing out the season and would still be a very dangerous team, even if they are between 5 and 8.
Yeah, I think we could finish there, and then as we did last year, still make a run. Also, I think as we are starting to see, I'm scared to say it, and it's sad that I'm scared to say it, but it is what it is. I'm getting faith in Anthony Davis right now, and that shouldn't be a hesitant thing to say, but we have seen how that has happened in the past, where you finally get faith in him, and then all of a sudden it kind of falls off. I really enjoy what he's been doing so far. As you pointed out last episode, I want to make sure we give him this praise. We're loud. Everybody's loud when he's playing bad. Want to be loud when he's playing well as well. Just looking at what he's doing, and folks start trying to talk about finally passing the torch, all kinds of stuff. It's been great to see how he is turning up this year and silencing all the naysayers, which is a joke now beyond.
Literally the naysayers
come around, but definitely salute to him for what he is doing, and I think if he is playing like this, that we can upset a few squads that we viewed highly going into a postseason. So we're sure to talk about it more as things go along. Definitely will be back next week again to talk about things as it plays out. To that point, as we do each week, the last one with the Lakers is just looking at the schedule. We play the next tonight and shortly in like an hour. We play then the Blazers, the Clippers on Tuesday, the Bulls on Thursday. And then by this time next week, we'll be back before the Warriors game on Saturday. So for the next 4, how do you see the next 4 games playing out?
Yeah, real quick, just to the Anthony Davis point. Yeah, I think he's been sensational. Had the Lakers had 5 more wins or so, I think he's in the MVP conversation. They're a little bit too low for that right now, but there's people who say nay.
Yeah, we'll switch it up at some point. I appreciate that.
But yeah, AD's been the most consistent Laker. He's been a dominant force on both sides of the ball, and it's been great to see. So yeah, hopefully, if he maintains his health, he's gonna be an MVP caliber player. In regards to these next 4, we talk about how the Lakers can trick off games at times. When I look at these 4 games, they should for sure go 3-1. They should beat the Nets, Blazers, and Bulls, and the Clippers could be a toss-up.
Correct.
I think they trick off one of like the Nets or Bulls, probably the Bulls. So I'm gonna say 2-2, but like they should go 3-1.
If Levine was back, actually no, we might to our joke about Matt. We might see a all-star Kobe White performance versus the Lakers next Thursday. We'll see, but no, I was confident to say we go 3-1. I guess I'm buying into what I saw the last couple of days, which you talked about with Darvin finally getting the lineups back. And getting that lineup that we had in play that got us to one conference final, maintaining that for a little bit longer than usual, and D'Lo and Reeves and these guys continue to step up as they've been. I think we can get 3 wins this week, and if we lose to the Clippers, that's just how things have gone in the past. We'll hold that L, but we know what matters most is at the end. So we'll see how that plays out, but sure we'll be talking about it all as things go along. So looking forward to it. Any last comment on the Lakers before we move on?
No, not about the Lakers, just the White brothers between Kobe White and Derek White. Mike begins.
I ain't even gonna do that right now, but we're looking forward to what's on the way with the Lakers. Again, continue to follow us on LA Sports Report. A lot of good conversation going on there. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about the Lakers this week. So good stuff on that front. Now let's go on to the Clippers. Again, as you guys tune into this part, again, show love to LA Sports Report. Follow us online. A lot of great things going on there. Excited to bring you guys great content and conversations. For those watching live, you guys can watch live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Seems to be working well. There's a few viewers on Twitter that seem to be tapped in. So tap into our Twitter. We're active on there as well, and we'll continue to build this thing up. Now we go on to the Clippers. They've been playing well themselves, and we want to continue to give them their praise. I know I got the Laker jersey on. We used to talk about the Lakers, so my apologies for those tuning into this part. But we want to give them their praise for what they are doing. And the first thing I want to actually point out beyond the court, folks continue to point and joke about Paul George and his lore right now. People keep talking about how he has the Erykah Badu videos, and there's a joke about that. He had a great game, a couple of great games in this last week. Plus versus the Thunder in that last game, looking real well. Just looking at what he's been doing on this squad, a thought that came to mind was someone who's been a fan of his. I never forget the injury that he had a while ago. He become the biggest success after major injury that we've seen in some time. I don't know the proper. I couldn't figure out the proper entertainment, but someone who we've seen have addressed injury. Have they had the biggest turnaround since then that you can recall?
I mean, it depends on how you distinguish success. I mean, because
that's you. That's you. How you want to.
Yeah, I was going to say, because like Sean Livingston had one of the nastiest injuries I've ever seen, and then he came back and won at least one, maybe two chips with Golden State in their first dynasty run pre-KD. So that's definitely up there, because that was a gruesome knee injury that he came back from, and was still his automatic from mid-range for that Golden State team as a role player there. But in terms of probably all-star level talents, probably, I mean, like I said, it determines what you distinguish as success too, because KD off the Achilles tear has been phenomenal. Like, he never got injured really either. So I know he's kind of flamed out in the last couple playoffs, but he had that run where he kind of carried the Nets when Kyrie and Harden were out. So he's up there.
Would Bron count? No, I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. LeBron,
I don't have the jersey on. My fault. I just had to
to LeBron's credit, he still has never, and knock on wood, like, he still has never had a major like season-ending injury that's knocked him out for significant time. The most has been that groin in 2018 or whatever. But yeah, no, we're not counting that that soft cast he brought out, like the middle-aged woman injury after that finals series. No.
So that's just a little funny thing with the podcast. People have been talking about Paul George again. Definitely appreciate what he's doing for our Clippers right now, and salute to him as he really keeps this team rolling as they have been alongside Harden and this core that we have put together. And to that point, we mentioned a couple weeks ago, Kawhi got signed his extension, will be here for a few years now, confirmed. PG seems all but likely to sign his extension to return, as he has fully refound his home in LA and doing his thing. And there's discussions about Harden and what he may do as well. Folks weren't sure if he would resign or not, but he said recently that he wants to stay home. He wants to retire a Clipper, and says all the right things about wanting to be here. But do you truly believe that the Clippers will keep their core together long term?
I said that in the previous episode. I thought he would, and for some of those same reasons, in terms of staying in LA, staying home, being with these guys who's built chemistry with, and they seem to be having a lot of fun on the court as well too, as they're winning games. Of course, winning will do that. So we'll see what happens should they falter in key moments late. But we see what can happen when a guy talks about wanting to stay, a la Kyrie in Boston. I'd love to stay if you'll have me, and then next season he's out of there. But yeah, I mean, we see guys can be wishy-washy, and sometimes, I mean, it's for very reasonable reasons in terms of wanting to make your bag, like wanting to get the biggest bag. You can't necessarily fault a guy for seeking to make as much money as he can, that kind of thing. But it seems like for a guy like Harden, who's been to a few different teams in the last few seasons, he might want to finally set up shop, and this would be one of the perfect places to do so. And he's towards the twilight of his career, and in the last couple of seasons he's definitely not in his prime anymore, but he's still great. He's still an all-star level player, and I think it makes sense for him to want to play it out with these guys who he's built a great rapport with.
Yeah, they put together things real nicely here. Definitely believe that it can work. Matt did joke, though, again in the comments, the Clippers put a fake Blake Griffin jersey in the rafters before trading him. So who knows, they put up their end too. So it seems like, though, this is not smoke from the Clippers this time around. They will keep this core together from all reports that I've been seeing. So hopefully this is not what Matt is alluding to. And at this time, we keep this core four of great guys: Harden, PG, Kawhi, and Russ, who also was in the mix and still is playing well on this roster long term. Excuse me. So yeah, definitely excited for that. I do agree that the Heat will pull it together. I agree, but I guess I'm cautious until it's on the he signs on the
signed,
line. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But looking forward to what's next with this squad. Things have been going well, as you pointed out. And long term, again, looking beyond even right now. Things are starting to build up for this Clippers squad. They announced that the stadium is going to be built up shortly and will be ready for next season. And with that, first off, they're going to have this thing now. It's called the Wall, a home court advantage, where they're going to have fans all on one side. You pay to exclusively be on that side. Are you a fan of the Wall that's going to be in the new Clipper Stadium, or you think it's kind of corny?
Yeah, I mean, they already sent me a discounted offer.
I'm sure.
For my Somo shirt. But nah, the Wall. I mean, I don't think it's corny. I think it's a cool concept. They might get bagged on because they're the Clippers and they've been the little brother, the stepbrother to the Lakers for so many years,
right?
And haven't won a championship yet. But I think it's a cool concept of having. It's essentially like a student section, like of having a version of a student section for the NBA team. Where I think it's funny, like you're not allowed to wear opposing jersey in that section. They're gonna have some things where they can kind of track certain metrics of like how loud you're cheering and how many times you get up out of your seat or whatever, that kind of thing. So those kind of things are like funny and could be joked upon for sure. But I think it's cool to add those little wrinkles for the fans and to reward those diehard fans. They deserve to be rewarded if they've been diehard Clippers fans for this long, because the Clippers haven't put up a great product for them for many years. So I think it's a cool concept. Those seats at the top and those nosebleeds, though, you might as well stay home, I think.
It's nice on here on camera, but in real life, it might be a tough watch for them folks in there. So we'll see if they clean it up for us. But at first I did think it was corny. Not gonna lie, I'm like, what y'all doing? Because to your point about the college atmosphere, folks across the league have tried for similar college atmospheres in their arenas, but we know with how much business runs it that you can't quite get the right fans in the building to create anything like that. But if there's a way for them to get the right people in on the wall as they designed it, I do think it can work out and can be intriguing. I guess the last interesting point to it, something I saw Gilbert Arenas point out and a few others as well, is just that what happens when you flip sides? Like, I know it's supposed to be a distraction for the other team and all of that, but if the opposing team's like, hey, we're just going to go the other way, it's like it kind of not ruins the purpose.
Well, they probably have it like
they planned it to be.
Yeah. Man, obviously, it's only going to be more of an advantage for one half of the game, I guess I would say. But I mean, you expect that most of the rest of the arena would still be your home fans too, but I guess you're just guaranteeing that this section will be. But yeah,
hopefully. So, but glad to see that they're continuing to build it up. Glad to see they're continuing to invest in the Clippers squad. Ballmer's really putting his money into this to really build it up as need be, and hope it continues to pay off. Also, in similar fashion, they announced that they're going to be hosting the All-Star Game in 2026.
Right.
That should be fun as well. Will you be in attendance for that? How you feel about the Clippers getting their first All-Star Game in their own building in a couple of years?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it, and technically it'll be Inglewood, so salute to Inglewood. Be great for that city to have All-Star festivities. But yeah, I was thinking I definitely would like to be in attendance. I don't know if I want to be for the All-Star game, because sometimes the game is not the greatest part of the weekend. Like maybe the dunk contest.
It might be Bron's last All-Star game. You never know. You can get your tickets now.
You think that's the main draw for me? LeBron.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not. I mean, it's not the main draw, but I mean, with LeBron being LeBron, that should be a pull for a lot of folks.
Maybe that would probably up the price even more too.
Yeah.
But I like maybe for the Saturday night, because that's sometimes the best night of the festivities is the dunk contest, the 3-point shootout, all that stuff.
Mac McClung and LeBron, that's crazy.
I don't know if it'll be Mac McClung. Maybe it'll be Bronny, man. Maybe Bronny will be in the dunk contest. That'd be hype. But yeah, I definitely would like to attend some of these festivities in 2026 for sure.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Hopefully, I'm in the area for that and can tap into a little bit of it, and we'll see how it plays out. But again, just seeing that they're investing more in the Clippers and they're getting their own space to operate and develop themselves into a team that can really establish their own base in LA will be fun to see, even beyond the Lakers stuff. My apologies again for the shirt, but looking forward to see what they truly can build up there. I think the last question is, as they do so, they have the right players on the team, star wise. They're starting to invest, as you pointed out. And we just see how they continue to go in the right direction. With all that being the case, will we ever actually see LA become a Clipper town? Do you think they can actually reclaim the city for a little while during this run that they're putting together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the only way it becomes a Clipper town is if they win championships. So, I mean, they're in contention for a title this year, and it would be the first one. That would be huge.
Yeah.
But the Lakers have 17. Like they got a 17 win head start over them. So it's gonna be hard to break through generations of Lakers fans in this city. It's a Laker town. It's a Laker and Dodger town. It's got the Dodger cap on. But in many cases, it might be more of a Laker town than a Dodger town. It's truly a Laker town from what the Showtime era built, and then what Kobe and Shaq did. I mean, it's gonna be hard to win over young fans, but I mean, if you win some titles, that'll definitely get some people. Even if it's just bandwagons, it's definitely going to get people going over to the Clippers side.
Yeah,
and they've been dominating the Lakers in the regular season for better part of a decade now. So all they need is the postseason success to where they can actually fight back in these arguments when Lakers fans tell them you ain't won shit. So they just got to win some titles to get in that contention, but it's going to be hard. It's a Laker town.
It's going to be hard, but they're moving in the right direction. All they can do is work their way up. I mean, we always saw it was to be at rock bottom for them for as long as they were. So just need to build it up, and maybe not for a long term, like it's going to be stamped as Clipper Town, but they can have a summer for sure. They really feel like if they claim it, they finally get a title. So we'll put them in some regard. Hope little brother can get one. Sorry, but I had to poke the jab. But we'll see how it plays out. And excited to see what's next for the Clippers. That's long term for what's next.
I will say real quick to that point, like the last time I can remember there being like real hype in the city for the Clippers was the Lob City era. Correct. They actually they had their own moniker, and they had CP3 and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, and everybody was hype, and they had expectations kind of, and they failed tremendously. So that they, in order to get on top, they're gonna have to finish the job and get the title.
Definitely. So we'll see how that continues to build up. That's somewhat of a long-term look, but into our short-term regards to what's next. Same way we do with the Lakers, looking at what's literally next for this Clippers squad. We have the Nets on Sunday, the Lakers, as we mentioned on last episode as well, on Tuesday. We have the Raptors on Friday, which will be by the time we're back. And as you can see here, just to mention it, the Clippers are the Celtics on Saturday next weekend. So the next 4 games, by the time we're back next week, how you think these games are going to be playing out?
Yeah, I mean, they should beat the Nets. I think they'll beat the Nets. Lakers toss up. Raptors, they should beat. Celtics, I was going to say, they're definitely going to be hungry after the way they got dogged out on December 23rd.
Right.
But it's also the second night of a back-to-back, I see, too. So that's a rough second night of a back-to-back on the road and going into the Garden, too. That's
how far is Toronto from Boston? Ain't that far, right?
I mean, no, but it should be. This is the best team in the league right now. Hate aside for you as a Celtics hater, understandably so. This is probably the best team in the league right now going into their house. I don't know what the Celtics schedule is leading up to that, so that could play a factor. But Clippers are going to have to be on their A+ game, I think, to win that one. That would be a tough one. I don't know. Did Matt say anything in regards to that?
No, I thought he was, but he didn't. So
nothing yet. But I would say 3-1 for them as well.
There he is. What do you say? I'll take Elliott at the SFG. Okay, it ain't that bad.
Yeah, not too far. You probably got to go. You got to go through customs or whatever.
Yeah.
Little thing, but beyond that, it's not too far a trip. So.
Got it. So, I understand it's back-to-back, but I do think they can handle both of those with the talent that they have there. Well, we do respect, of course, what those 2 teams are. So, I say they are – I'll go ahead and actually stamp the next 3 as wins. I know it's ironic to say with the Lakers jersey on yet again, but knowing how they handle play Lakers in regular season, I think that will be a good matchup, and then they can handle business. In the Celtics game, again, possibly, but I think even though it is going to be a back-to-back, I think they can't get the job done, even though we do respect Derek White and the Celtics over there right now. So, yeah, we'll talk about it surely. We'll be back Friday night, potentially right after that Raptors game, to have another chill episode for you guys, and we'll react to it a little bit and give a preview for the Celtics and go from there. But yeah, there'll be a lot of good stuff going on with the Lakers that we mentioned before last episode. If you check that episode out, and now we're talking about the Clippers. They'll be excited for what's next with them, short term in the rest of the season and long term as we're building things up, and definitely looking and excited for what they do next this season. So again, continue to show love on the page as Alex Sports Report. You have a question you wanted to ask real quick, Alex?
Yeah, just we did kind of breeze by like their roster construction a little bit, but do you feel like as currently constructed, they can win the title?
I believe so. They just need to stay healthy beyond the big four. It seems like that core four is starting to really get things figured out. But you start to see Plumlee sits for a week, or Tice is
He came back recently,
or whatever the case is. So as long as they can figure out who that fifth man is and they can keep that guy stable and get their bigs in order, I think they'll be in good shape and can make a run in the playoffs. I think they'll be able to put together a nice. They'll be able to handle anybody in a 7-game series, I believe. We'll talk about more if we get there. But yeah, I don't think we can make any drastic moves right now. They could sign somebody maybe, but a big trade, I don't think is really needed at this point with how they have finally put it together. So yeah, they're in good shape. And again, we'll be tuned in for what all they do next.
Got you. Yeah, I would say the big spot, while Zubac has played extremely well, especially next to Harden. I believe he's a little banged up right now, but they kind of have a revolving door between Tice and Plumlee right now. I don't know if there's a more sturdy big that you would want there. That's kind of more like solidified. Should Zubac go down, but or more of a stretch.
I guess, but you can always improve, I guess. But I've seen from those guys now, if they can just stay healthy, I think it is a good mix.
Yeah, so they're just gonna need. I mean, because you know what you're gonna get from Kawhi. You believe you know what you're gonna get from Paul George, and you believe you know what you're gonna get from Harden, with the highs and the lows. So I think it's going to be, like you said, kind of the role players, getting those one-off games from the role players in series that you typically get, where you get a Norman Powell scoring 35 or something, or you get Terrence Mann having a 20-point game or something like that. They're going to need role players to step up.
I have seen, I guess since we're still here, I've seen rumors about PJ Tucker being on the move, as he may not.
I've heard that too.
He may enjoy being around the guys, but I still want to play.
Yeah,
like, be on the court, man. So if he ends up moving somewhere, I'm sure you can get a nice big back. And yeah, we'll see. But I don't think you need anything drastic at this point until they put it together. So yeah, again, that now is it. Finally, again, appreciate y'all for tuning in as you guys do. Again, show love to LA Sports Report. Make sure you check into all of that. And we'll be back next week for more Clippers discussion. So that is on that front. Moving from LA, from the Lakers and Clippers to the college side of things. Again, wanted us to talk. We saw in the last night, actually, Bronny went up in USC, went up against our Arizona Wildcats. Yeah. We will admit, as though we're all LA and want to give love to LA and all of that. We both are Arizona guys and love our Wildcats. So we were torn a little bit watching the game. We had to cover up.
I wasn't torn.
You weren't torn? Oh, well, I was torn. I forgot you're the UCLA guy. But I was USC and Arizona guy. Was a bit torn while watching that game. And Arizona handled business. It is what it is. But Brian got some good shine. And just want to continue to salute him as he is doing his thing his first year at USC right now. He's moving up draft board. People are saying he's on boards right now and getting some looks. What are your thoughts about him potentially going to the league after this 1 year?
Yeah, he played well in this game against Arizona. He's like looking a little bit more confident. I think people want to see him be more aggressive with the ball, but he's just like starting to get starting minutes now because he was coming off the bench. But nice to see him.
Two guards are out. Collier, who's a top draft pick himself, is out for a while with the injury he sustained. And then Boogie Ellis was out last game. He had an hamstring injury, so he missed that. So, yeah, he got the start and did well in his own regard, although the team fell short. So, salute to him for what he was able to do.
Yeah, but in terms of, like, his draft prospect outlook, like, we talked about it. Like, his offensive and defensive instincts, like, appear to be there and appear to be transferable to the league. I think obviously his athleticism is transferable to the league. I just think upping that confidence, getting the reps in, and upping the aggression as an offensive player is going to be huge for him. He might not be a superstar, create for yourself type guy in the league. He probably will be more of a 3-and-D type guy. I've in the past seen comparisons to like a Drew Holiday, which would be great. Like that would be great if he was like a Drew Holiday type guy in the league. But I still think I would understand, obviously, if he gets drafted. A major part of it is he's the namesake. Like he's LeBron James Jr. So it's hard not to be enticed by that.
Correct.
If you're a GM in the draft, not only because of the potential of his basketball ability, but because it's LeBron James Jr. So you're going to get some traffic to your arena, to your sales, all of that. And LeBron potentially might come play with him or whatever. So
speaking of that, Matt said he saw Bronny mock to the Celtics like 40 recently. I don't know if that's true or not. We know Matt can be a troll, as folks who are familiar with the show may know Matt's been on some time. So Celtic guy, he's trying to poke us a little bit. I don't know if Bronny or Bron would go there if that's the case, but interesting that he's already on the board at 40 in the draft. So we'll see how it plays out. You want to respond to that at all? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if LeBron would allow that. He might just call Adam Silver's phone directly. Say the Celtics
ever has pulled to say no, he's not getting drafted there. Bron would call and say, "Hey, yo, we're not doing this."
He's gonna shoot Adam Silver the text with the Celtics with the 3 Ks in the spelling. Nah, my son cannot go play for the Celtics.
Sorry. He's backpedaling now. It was a tankathon sim. I don't know how real it was. If you want Bronny, go get him, man. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, I guess if that's your Jason Tatum replacement, when the Lakers get Jason Tatum, I understand it. But yeah, I don't know if I see Bronny donning the green and white for Boston. I don't know.
I hope not. I hope not.
Allow that. But yeah, I still personally feel like he could use another year. Maybe he's not a 3 or 4 year guy. If he wasn't LeBron James' namesake, he might be a 3 or 4 year guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he needs to do that much. That much time. Sounds like he's in prison.
Right.
I don't think he needs to do that many years for USC. But I think he could benefit still from another season under his belt in the college game before going.
For sure. Real quick, we got people on stream and all of that. I think his name is Not Kakashi. Just want to say hello to him. He said, "What up? How's it going? Going well. Excited. Just talking about all the stuff going on around LA. Great stuff going on here. Talking about Bronny. And yeah, I don't think he needs to rush to the league right now. I definitely think he should take his time. It didn't seem like the rush is coming from inside the house. It didn't seem like it's coming from USC. It didn't seem like it's coming from his family. LeBron is supportive. There was the funny moment after last game where he was in the locker room after the game, watching TV and mid-interview and all of that. So he's supportive and watched him and hoping he does well there. And yeah, I definitely do think he should take his time and continue to develop at USC for as long as he can until he becomes a pro that can truly go to the league and blossom. So I do think at some point, as Natakashi is asking, do I think Bronny will end up playing with LBJ? I think LeBron's going to do whatever he can to make sure that happens. So we'll be excited to see. Again, I hope they don't rush to make it happen. They take his time so that Bronny can get there and not only play with LeBron, but play with LeBron and then go ahead and have a whole great career afterwards as well. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll be rooting for him and glad to see what he's doing at USC right now.
If he does just go straight to the draft and straight to the league, do you think it hurts him at all? Or it's just like a tough adjustment period kind of thing, and then he gets beyond it?
I guess to the point we talked about last week or a couple weeks ago about seeing the success of guys who stayed for a while in regards to, on the flip side, SC at UCLA, Jaime Jaquez, who left and stayed 4 years and then went to the league. I just think it may not allow him to come into the league obviously he just won't be as ready as he could be. I think obviously we all see that some of the potential is there of being able to craft it and really get his game together, being somewhat of the combo guard he is right now. I think really refining his craft in college where he has time to really put it all together. I think that would be the right way to do it rather than going to the league and then all of a sudden you may get lost in the mix and all of a sudden you're back down to the G League and bouncing around. And we've seen how guys, especially being Arizona guys, we've seen guys go to the league early and all of a sudden get mixed up when they could have really blossomed and had to take their time. So yeah, I think he should stay in college for as long as need be and then go and take off from there. So
Mm.
we're rooting for him, looking forward to it, and excited for all that's next with him. Any further comment on him?
No, I'm all good there.
Okay, so yeah, definitely good stuff going on with him at USC. Hopefully the whole squad puts it together. We've seen that with interesting things. They have not had the most success recently, but at least of the two of us here, I'm rooting for them and hope that they continue to have a good season. And we'll be tuned in for all that's on the way there. I haven't followed a whole lot of UCLA. I'll fully admit my apologies.
Sure.
Have you tuned into them this season? I heard they had their struggles. Any thoughts on what's going on with UCLA right now?
It's been rough, but I was happy to see that they did pull out a close win against ASU. I believe that was that same night on the road. And yeah, so that was good to see because they just played a game against Utah where they got blown out by like 50 points nearly, and they kind of folded as soon as they hit adversity and just laid down and let themselves kind of get embarrassed. So to see them fight in a game that was closely competitive was good to see. I know there definitely just have been questions about the talent on the roster after losing guys to the draft and losing guys to graduation. It's definitely it can be a challenge when you lose like 3 of your 5 or 4 of your 5 starters.
That's a lot of stars just last year. I was going to pull up as well, just in regards to the difficulty having Final Four squads and all that. Where you had the Jaime Hawkins and the Giant Juzang a couple of years ago, and teams that made deep runs to have that core together for as long as it did, and then trying to rebuild afterwards. We've seen some teams do it. We know the Calipari's and all of that are used to the one and dones and all that kind of stuff. But a UCLA squad that used to have that now has put together a team that's been together for some time. Bouncing back after that has been a bit of a struggle, but excited to see how they put it together next, and continue on just what you've been seeing from them.
Yeah, neither of these LA teams between UCLA and USC are looking like tournament teams and looking like they're going to be on the outside looking in, unless they make some kind of Pac-12 tournament run and win the tournament. But I think it was a positive to see them compete and get a close win on the road. Hopefully they can continue some of that trajectory and that effort that they exhibited in that game. I don't think there's too many questions about like Mick Cronin's like job security or anything like that. Like he has proven to be a really good coach for this team. I think there's maybe some questions about some of the decisions he's made this year, but I think they'll be able to rebuild because this UCLA basketball program is a program that has that legacy of, like we've talked about with USC's football program. Like it's a similar thing with that. So I think this is based off the brand and the success that they've had in recent years too, that they'll be able to rebuild this program.
Yeah, definitely. They won't stay down too long. They definitely will bounce back. We'll take soon to see what piece they get to really get this thing going again. I got to get tapped a little bit more to high school sports around the area and see what guys are on the rise. Because we know how UCLA obviously pulls from local people, and there's definitely plenty of talent in the area that can get them back on track shortly. So we tuned into that and wanted to give a quick nod to the men's side of things. Going to the women's side, and we talked about it last week. So to everybody that they joined the chat and shared which way they thought it would go. USC got one. They finally got redemption on the women's side. Upset UCLA in our battle for LA round 2, 73-65 as you saw. It was a good game. I watched most of it, even on Sunday where there was all the football stuff going on. I made sure we talked about before. Wanted to stay tuned to this game. It was going to be a big matchup, and I really enjoyed it. Great energy from USC as they had the building rocking, stars in the building, Candace Parker and Cheryl Miller and all kinds of folks were all around it. Saweetie and Chris Brown and stuff like that. It was a great atmosphere. Fans were rocking, and the team definitely carried over that same energy on the court. Usually Watkins truly is special and playing on a great performance, and the whole squad really got going too. I will also, on the flip side, say I was impressed by UCLA because you see it was an 8-point win. There are a few times where USC got up 12. They got 14 at one point. Really started pushing it. And there are a couple of opportunities where a team, when you start breaking away, could really separate. UCLA wouldn't fully let it loose. They kept it close and got it down to 6 at one point and kept fighting back. Weren't able to get over the hump. It definitely was a good game, and just wanted to give praise to them as they continue to battle. You think we get round 3 at some point? I think that was just the last 2 of official matchups right now. Are we going to see them play again this season?
I guess that would only happen in Pac-12 tournament, most likely, unless they were to meet in the tourney.
Correct. You think it happened some way?
It's very well possible, just with them still being both top 6 teams. It's possible that they could meet, and that would be great to see. It should be. I was gonna say, unfortunate that game once again was, I think, on Pac-12, like not on a major network. Obviously, the NFL playoffs, that's a rough weekend to go up against, so I understand it this time, but they really, like, these young women do need more shine, because especially you got a superstar level talent on USC with Juju Watkins, like, who definitely deserves to be on a primetime stage, like a Caitlin Clark.
There's a nice way of saying we want to pitch for them and all of that. Watching the game for real, they hoop. Like, you need the whole give the pitch and all of that. Just straight up, they hoop for real.
Absolutely.
Although they're on both squads, they're really getting after it, and it was a great game. So if you're a fan of good basketball, they definitely delivered that, and you should be tuned in next time. Or even beyond it. Even right now, UCLA is playing Colorado right now. Tune into that game if you're watching live on the stream. Check over to that. I won't be mad at it. As well as USC has a good game tonight later on too. So they play a good game of basketball. If you're a fan of the sport, they definitely deliver. So check them out as they're doing their thing.
Yeah. They gotta highlight your best teams in the country, and you gotta highlight the young superstar talents. So people have more of a reason to want to. Exactly. Juju is must-watch TV. Like,
absolutely.
People know that they got to tune in, like they do for Caitlin Clark. Like, she gets pushed. Iowa's not typically a team that we're going to be tuning into, but everyone knows how good Caitlin Clark is. So, as you said, UCLA and Colorado are playing. It's 3-point game, 4 minutes left on Pac-12 network once again. And Colorado's a number 3 team in the nation too. So Pac-12's got some competition there, and it should be a fun rest of the season as they go into their tournament time.
Absolutely. I'll definitely be locked into them. Excited to see how things play out. To the point about seeing a round 3 in the Pac-12 training might be difficult because we see a team like Colorado, who's highly ranked themselves. I think they're ranked 3rd at the moment, are playing, and they're putting up a good battle. So they might disrupt the matchup, the reunion that we want to see. But either way, watching them, they have a great squad that deserve your eyes too. So they're all playing well, and we end up seeing Colorado instead versus one of these squads. I'll be tuning either way, but we'd love to see our 2 LA squads match up. I'm excited to see what's next for them. Any further comment on the women's side? You can check in out, y'all, or just any thoughts about what's going on around?
Juju was a little bit of a free throw merchant in that game. I'm just saying.
Don't bring that NBA stuff.
I'm just saying.
Leave it alone.
But salute to USC and getting the W in that one. It was another great game between those 2 teams.
Definitely. As you see, Juju is a freshman right now. So you continue to be on USC. I believe the rule is you got to be. I forgot exactly what the rule is, but I think she has 2 more years there. For I've been seeing, she's gonna be there for a little while longer.
I believe so.
I'm blanking on what the official rules are. My apologies on that regard. But we also see that regardless, there are other folks, Caitlin Clark and others, who have opportunities to go to the WNBA early. And sometimes they have so far in recent years decided to stay for that final year at their schools and maximize what's going on at their college. How can the WNBA make itself more appealing for future stars that are going into the league? That's it.
You know the answer. Yeah, like it's got to be about the dollars, man. Because like obviously, like, Caitlin Clark can make more money right now with the NIL and in college in Iowa as the big fish in a small pond there. So it makes sense for her to stay there, especially with them not having won yet. Like, I'm sure she wants to finish the job and get a title there for Iowa. But if the dollars don't make sense, if you don't make money, it don't make sense. So they're going to have a better pay structure especially for the top talent in the league. And like we've seen in recent years, like young women drafted as high as 4 have been cut from the team after being drafted. So it's like there's not even a guarantee for some of these highly drafted prospects that they're going to have a WNBA contract. So a couple things there, but namely the money for sure is going to have to be better.
Got it. So yeah, hope the WNBA, I can do that and make themselves more appealing, because we'd love to see Juju and others, Caitlin, as we mentioned, on her way in leading the league and continuing to have the presence they have now, as folks are fully aware of them in college. They can keep that same publicity when they go to the league as well and do their thing there. So we'll be tapping into that Brian Peters online said, let's go Juju. Definitely we'll be checking out what's going on with them next, and looking forward to what will continue to be on the way with them. So that's all the official stuff LA wise I wanted to get to. We appreciate y'all for tuning into that part. You can watch episodes as they re-aired on LA Sports Report on all platforms. On YouTube, we'll have clips broken apart for them, and definitely check that out. What is Matt saying in the comments here? Taking a shot like 0% on shots to tie or win at the end of the game this season. Shake my head. Celtics talk.
The Nuggets and Celtics are playing right now.
About the Celtics. We don't care about that right now. But again, for LA folks, continue to tap into what's going on.
Nuggets won by 2. That's why.
Yeah. Tough. But again, just appreciate all the folks tapping into all the LA things. We continue to flood things online on all platforms. Actually, hundreds of place to tune into, and you can find our episodes on LA Sports Report on YouTube for those that want to go back and watch some of these things chopped up. So good stuff on that front as we go on from here. Huh?
So we got some fun stuff.
Yeah. On to the fun stuff. Definitely not stuff we want to get to. Usually on Fridays, and we get more consistent with things, we'll have a real NFL stream on Tuesdays. We'll have an NBA stream on Wednesday or Thursday. Then we'll have a fun stream on Friday. It was just chill stuff, just random stuff we see throughout the NBA and NFL landscape, whatever the case is, random stuff, and we'll do that. So today being Friday, we had to get our NBA stuff in early now, but moving on to what's next, just chill stuff. The first thing that got my attention was I posted this on our Twitter, actually. There was a tweet recently about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens were in practice, and one of the social media people asked them, who would your starting five be of guys on the team? And they were going down and putting Zay Flowers at the 1 and Lamar at the 2 and Bateman at the 3 and stuff like that, and kind of flipping the NFL NBA thing. So I asked on Twitter, flipping it for us in LA, who would have the better football team of our basketball squads, Lakers or Clippers? How do you think that would play out? I think if you would you put D'Lo at QB? How you have that playing out for the Lakers?
Lefty QBs can be dangerous. So maybe. My immediate thought was Lakers, just with LeBron obviously being a freak of nature, and then AD being a freak of nature. But as soon as AD gets hit, he's out for the season. So I don't know about that. And then also, like, the Clippers got some dogs there between Russ and Kawhi and those type of guys. Like, those guys like to get after it, and some of them played football too, as some of the Lakers players did, I'm sure, in high school. I might go Clippers, honestly, just because of the aggressiveness and the dog nature they got on that side. But I don't know. I think it would be a fun battle.
Come on now.
D'Angelo, Vic.
Don't say it out, man.
Oh, man. I don't know which way you think you'd go.
Truthfully, I was gonna lean Clippers because you have Russ over there. You got PJ, who could be the middle linebacker or something like that over there. You got Kawhi and people over there. Austin Reeves versus Russ. You got that as well. But there's a secret X factor.
Russ is eating him for breakfast.
I think he might burn him. Putting that safety or something like that. That's a long day. The secret X factor though for the Lakers though. Low key, I don't know if you remember this, but Jackson Hayes played football.
I've seen those highlights. Yeah.
You see the highlights, hey?
Yeah.
We'll 7-footer at receiver and just lob it up, let him get in there and toe tap in the corner.
We got two of them, him and AD.
Easy money all day. So I think I may actually go with the Lakers in that because we have him alongside. You got Braun.
That's what I'm saying. Braun the freak of nature, so that's kind of the joke.
On the outside, that's a nasty trio. So as good as those other guys are, I might have to lean with the Lakers in that one by his side. So
who's getting after it in the trenches though?
In the trenches, say it again.
Yeah, who's getting after it in the trenches? You got what? Vando, Torian Prince.
Yeah, you put Vando on the end, let him rush the QB for sure.
So, some of them Clippers, man, I don't know. Like, who else they got on as role players? I'm kind of.
Terrence Mann might be a little shifty on as a receiver himself.
Terrence Mann.
Norman Powell, I'm sure he can play running back or something. He got bulldozer.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It'll be a great matchup. It'll be a great
For sure, for sure. So yeah, just a funny thing I put out there just for the sake of it. But yeah, just wanted to see what your thoughts were on it, and we'll go from there. But yeah, now on to other things. I guess first off, as we discussed, go to big NBA news. There was a Siakam trade that just went down. What were your thoughts on him going to Indiana, teaming up with Halliburton over there?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if that move changes the NBA landscape very much. Like, obviously, it hurts Toronto, and it helps Indiana, but I don't know that Indiana's beating any of those top 4 teams, even with Siakam. Like Celtics, Bucks, Sixers. I mean, maybe you can put them at 4 there because like between like the Knicks and the Heat, I'd favor the Heat in a playoff scenario. But yeah, I don't know that it changes a whole lot there in the East. I do like it for Indiana, obviously getting an all-star caliber player there next to Halliburton, who's a solidified all-star this season. But yeah, it didn't really move me. Like when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, kind of thing. Yeah. But like it wasn't like he went to a contender. It was like he went to an up and coming team that can maybe be feisty, like in a first round kind of thing. But yeah, this move didn't really move me too much.
I respect it. I mean, in the East, where there is a little bit of room to elevate, they definitely can make some noise there. I think with that move, there are some teams that are beatable in a 7-game series with that lineup. The Heat potentially could be beatable. The Knicks could be beatable. I don't know about the Celtics or the Bucks right now.
They've had the Bucks number all season.
Say it again.
They've had the Bucks number all season.
They have the Bucks number all season. We'll talk more about them potentially in a little bit. But just seeing, I still see those others, these 3, and even 4 with how well the Cavs have been playing recently, quietly on 6-game win streak and all of that. And we maybe address that further as well. But yeah, I still see them kind of in the range that they are. I don't know how much they would elevate from there, though I do respect what Siakam could add to them. Do you think he keeps up with Halliburton in the offense that they've been rolling? You think obviously they have high power. You think Siakam keeps up, or he may actually disrupt a little bit of the motion they've been having so far?
No, like let's not forget, like Siakam was probably second best player on the championship team after Kawhi for Toronto. Like Siakam's a very good player. He works as a number 2 as well on a championship team. So. Like I think he can fit in nicely next to Halliburton. Halliburton makes his teammates better the way he plays. So he's one of the best, if not the best, arguably playmaker in the league. So I think he's going to create a lot of easy opportunities for Siakam, where he won't have to be a Beyblade and spam the spin button and get into his spin bag. So I think he'll create some easy opportunities for Siakam, and he'll thrive in that system as well. Good head coach in Carlisle. So. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I think even stats match up with that as well. To say he's one of the better, I guess, pace-wise. They said, I forgot exactly what the numbers were, my apologies, but just that he plays at a high tempo himself and should match up transition-wise, I believe it was. He's a good scorer in transition, and surely will, with how the Pacers play, fit in nicely to that, we assume. So excited for that a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, definitely just want to continue to pay attention to what's going on across the league. I mentioned the Cavs on a 6-game win streak right now and playing well. Do you think they have any chance of upsetting anybody in the East this year, or are they still stuck at that kind of second tier that they've been at since?
It's kind of wild. I was looking at my conference predictions, and I have the top 6 in exact order as well too. Like this is kind of how I see it playing out.
For now.
Yeah, like I think the Cavaliers can be, because the Cavs started off the season like around the 8 seed for a while, and as you said, they're on a 6-game win streak, so they're finally moving up to where I thought they could be with their roster improvements and with young guys maturing in their games. I kind of see it playing out, like I said, this way in terms of playoff standings. I don't know if the Magic are able to hold on there, but in regards to the Cavs specifically, I haven't watched them a whole lot, and I know Donovan Mitchell's been playing well. I'm not sure, like beyond that, like who's been kind of like the major factor in that. I don't know if you've been watching them more closely, but the Cavs, I think, they have potential. I still think they struggle against those 3 teams that are ahead of them. Like, it really feels like those 3 teams at the top, and then a bit of a drop off to 4 and beyond at this point. But I mean, they're playing really good basketball right now. Like 8 of the last 10 and won 6 straight. So hard to discredit them.
Yeah, to definitely respect them. We'll talk more about it as season goes along. I'll pay more attention to your question and see how things have been clicking. I don't have a direct answer in regards to what all has been working out for them right now. But just I noticed from afar that they're doing well, and we'll see if they keep it up as things go along. So, yeah, just something else to keep our eyes on. Also, I guess as we move along, just stuff that's been catching our eye. On the flip side, actually, I'm going to go to the west side. For one, they're right next to each other. The Warriors and what's going on with them on a lighter side, somewhat in regards to Draymond, what's going on with the team itself. Any thoughts on Draymond's return? Any thoughts on how they still have been playing as a 12th seed as they are right now and haven't quite got rolling? You see a big move being made by them. Just any thoughts in that regard about the Warriors?
Yeah, Draymond returned and they lost to the Grizzlies with no Ja Morant, no Marcus Smart, no Desmond Bane, no Jared Jackson or whatever. Like it was bad. It was really bad to lose to that Grizzlies team. So that doesn't give you confidence if you're a Warriors fan. I feel like a trade has to be made if they still want to compete, like if they still want to make the playoffs and compete this season, but they may be content with kind of just letting it ride and kind of retooling in the offseason, because it feels like Clay is in his last days there. Draymond should be in his last day. They've got something with Draymond where it's hard for them to let him go, but it feels like he could have been let go for a while now. But I think this is the last that we see of that championship dynasty nucleus. In terms of the Warriors this year, in terms of making a trade this season, I don't know who the ideal target would be. Like Chris Paul, I'm sure is on the horizon of coming back in a couple weeks, and then I'm sure he would be dangled in some trade offers maybe. Beyond that, I mean, like Kuminga, we talked about his voice some frustrations. Maybe he gets moved for a more veteran guy. But if they're trying to compete this year, but yeah, it's not looking great for them at this point with how competitive this Western Conference is. It's hard to see where the turnaround happens. Yeah.
I don't really see a turnaround either. I think it's going to continue to be a struggle for them all year long. It seemed like this team had reached its end, but with the team being as historic as it was, I think you give respect to them. And I think that within the building, they're probably like, let's just let them run it out and let them see that it's come to an end. They still have hope. And Draymond talks like, once I get back and healthy and all this, that you can turn it around. We'll let them see and let it play out for one last season. And once it's clear that this thing is done, say, all right, y'all, we tried. We gave y'all going out the year to figure it out. We let the core stay together for as long as we could. But as an organization, we keep building this thing back up. And we're going to keep holding on to step, of course. But the rest of y'all have not showed that we can keep it around. So it's time for us to move on to our next era. Other people move around and cores be broken up in order to maintain the team. We've seen with LeBron how he's quick to say, okay, we had success here. Now it's on to the next. And maybe sometimes he moves too fast, sure. But he is okay with letting teams rebuild in order to stay afloat as need be. So, it's time for the Warriors to move on to the next era of their Steph squads and see what they can rebuild around him. And, we'll just see how it goes from here. But, it's run its course, and hopefully they accept that sooner than later.
I will say I could still see them as currently constructed being a play-in team. I don't know if they win those games and become a playoff team, but I do think they are still better than the Jazz right now, and I think they are better than the Rockets if they're playing at their best too. So I could see them slipping into a 10 seed and being in the play-in, but I'm not confident that they would win out of the play-in and get into the playoffs at this point the way they've been playing.
Yeah, Again, it's really on Steph's back at this point. If Steph can carry them to that far, then they'll get there. But even then, like we've seen, even like LeBron situations, can only do so much. So, we'll see what Steph can do to keep them afloat. We'll see what else the that core can put together to keep them going in any kind of way. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll have some of an eye on them as the season goes along. Usually have our full attention, but with how things have gone, it is what it is. So that is it on that front. On another side, just on I guess a somber note, but just respectfully, just want to send our condolences to the coach that passed away over the last couple of days. Just a sad situation there. I saw he had a good impact across the whole league. I think he's a good friend of the Raptors coach as well, and a few others who made sure they found ways on the court to give him some form of acknowledgement, and wanted to do the same. So just rest in peace to him, and prayers to his family and the Warriors as they continue to go through these times right now. So I wanted to mention that. We mentioned the Warriors. You mentioned the team below them, the Grizzlies. Another thing going on with them real quick. What is going on with the Grizzlies, man? Like they have fallen apart. I don't know what this is with them. I know injuries, but it's just like
everybody's getting hurt.
The whole squad getting hurt. Like what is this? Ja was back for 2 weeks and everybody was saying MVP and then got hurt and now he's out for the season. Adams been out. Desmond Baines got hurt. I don't know who is out there right now. They got Gigi Jackson.
Marcus Smart's out.
Outside of that, I don't know who that roster is right now. So they're figuring it out. Can they end up, I guess, passing the Blazers or even the Spurs potentially for the worst team in the West?
Well, like they do have some like young talent that has been playing pretty well for them, like not winning games, but I mean, I believe is it Vincent Jackson is his name, and there was that player who in that Warriors game had like 20 and was hyped to hear like Shaq interviewing him. Like on it, T.J. Jackson, so there's a couple guys there.
Facts.
There's a couple guys there.
Matt said whole squad clumsy. That's a fact.
Whole squad clumsy. Oh, Vince Williams is his name. Vince Williams and Gigi Jackson, like a couple of young guys with talent and promise there. Who can keep them competitive? Like they're in the similar boat as the Trailblazers probably right now. I don't really think they fall beyond the Trailblazers because the Blazers aren't very good either. But yeah, I mean they've been dismantled by injury, so the season's pretty much over. Like they will ride it out and tank, I guess you could say, but there's not much they can do.
Got it. Yeah, it's gonna give me up for them. I was surprised by just how they fell apart. So again, we'll see how they bounce back or see what their plans are to rebuild the squad. We saw they had potential the last few years and they're building things up with Ja, and things because of Ja's own actions and things and all of that have not been on track at all since then. So we'll see what's next for them as things go along. Getting back on track as well for the Spurs, as we mentioned them real quick, that I've seen that they want to figure out some way to get some help around Wemby. The guys around him so far, some of they hating and all of that. Any thoughts on what's going on with the Spurs? And I guess also we've seen some comments from Trae Young. Would you want to see Trae Young paired up with Wemby anytime in the near future?
I mean, any good point guard paired up with Wemby works. Honestly, like they're not playing. Yeah, they're not playing a point guard with them. Like they're starting Jeremy Sochan, and it seems like guys aren't looking for him around the rim at times, or aren't looking to throw the lob when he's like one of the biggest lob threats there is in the league right now. So. Yeah, I just a competent point guard with Wemby would be great. I don't think it necessarily has to be Trae Young. I don't necessarily think Trae Young would want that either. I don't know. Maybe he would want to go to San Antonio.
Like he would. He's gone on not a media tour, but on his own podcast, gave a lot of praise to Wemby, and after games like this that passed, where he went up against him and said how great it was to play against him and see the talent and potential that is there. So he acknowledges what Wemby is doing, and it seems like he would be open to being a 1A, 1B, Robin, however you want to describe it, to Wemby in situations. So if that can work, you got to get some pieces around him somehow. And if he's open to be that, I don't know what's going on. Atlanta's kind of stalled out, it seems. They haven't elevated as much as we thought they would. So, I think that would be a nice pairing. Playing with the PG, without a PG builds character, Matt says. He's definitely got all the character he needs at this point. Go ahead and give him some help now. I think the character is there, and it's time to see this team play all together now. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, any other thought on that?
No, I mean that's funny that it builds character. As you mentioned, like his character is intact. I believe his basketball character. So he's been on training wheels too with minutes restrictions. I think they've lifted it a bit, and so he can really like flex his muscles and get the stats up. I still maybe I was sounding like a hater to you last episode. Like I still don't see him as an all-star this year, just in comparison to some of the other guys that are available to be selected, and with them being a 7-win team. But I mean, he's still great. Like he's still an alien out there, and he's had some of those dominant performances with the 40-point games or the triple doubles, that kind of thing. So he's still fun to watch beyond the Spurs being terrible.
Still fun to watch. Definitely understand what you're saying about all of that. And glad you actually brought up the All-Star games. That's where I was going to go next.
Okay.
We saw, I think, the final voting or the third voting has come in the last day. And again, LeBron's leading the pack in the front court for the West. Giannis is over there. And we see the others that are in the mix. Anything stand out to you? We'll start with the front court. Just anything stand out so far in the voting right now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Jimmy Butler is high, just with him having missed a lot of time.
Fan favorite. He knows how to pull strings. He's been on his country route recently also.
Yeah.
So you get those fans. And
I scroll by every single one of those he posts. I do follow him, but I'm not trying to hear that.
And then guard wise, I guess we can go from there. I agree that there's not really surprise on the with the bigs.
Yeah, the guards make sense. I don't remember where Harden has been, but it seems like he's rising as the Clippers have been playing well, understandably so. Anthony Edwards, I don't know if we have anything more about the Timberwolves, but I just want to salute to him because
we can go. Yeah, please.
He's been great. Like he's been great for the T-Wolves. I don't know what could get him in the MVP conversation because they're already the 1 seed, but I don't feel like he's talked about in that light. They have several good players there, so that kind of hurts those chances. But I mean, we saw that highlight dunk that he had yesterday. That was sensational.
Time out.
Reminded us, or at least reminded me a little bit of Kobe. And he's got even more bounce than Kobe has. So it was even more
bounce than Kobe
to watch. I think so. Dude flies. Between the dunks we've seen Anthony Edwards do over Watanabe and just that one, he was gliding across the air after catching it off the backboard and everything. So
Kobe got up now.
Kobe got up for sure. Listen, you're talking to a Kobe guy. I know.
That's why I'm surprised you say it. That's why I was surprised you said it.
There's Kobe bias here, but I think he has a little bit more bounce than Kobe did, personally, from what I've seen.
I got to see him dunk on Dwight first. Then once he does that, I'll confirm it. But for now, I'm not too sure. But he gets up on his own right, and it's smooth up there too. So I respect it. But definitely think Kobe was a nice jumper himself.
That's not to say Kobe couldn't get up too.
Oh no, of course. But I'm saying more. You said more, so I'm like, hey,
more.
I don't know, but salute to Ant for what he's doing. I think he definitely is next of that cloth, or however you want to describe it, of a great elite, great elite shooting guards. Matt's in the comments talking. My fault, but yeah, I definitely do think he is next in line and should be further in the MVP discussion. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I've been rooting for him. I think we joked about it for a while. I was on board for a minute with the Timberwolves and all of that. I'm glad to see they all put it all together, and we'll see what kind of push they can make from there. So good stuff in that regard. Any other comment? All-Star game wise,
your weekly Derek White hate.
Yeah, let's go ahead and Derek White. I think he's still at 7. From last time I checked, he was 7 last time. Also, any chance he moves up in the ranks, or you think that's as far as he goes?
That's probably as far as he goes because those other guys are.
It was a good run, Matt. So, it was a good run.
If someone gets a little banged up, he might slide in there.
He can be an alternate if he wants to be. That's fine, salute. But as an official vote, I don't think he gets higher than 7. So
probably not.
That is it. But yeah, salute to him for even being in the conversation. I joked about being in consideration last year with MVP votes, not kind of stuff. He's in the conversation, so we'll give him his praise in that regard. And yeah, we'll see what he can do in Boston to build things up. So yeah, that was on one side. We talked about Ant in regards to rising the MVP ranks. I wanted to go to our halfway. We're at the halfway mark, and wanted to somewhat do a mid-season awards thing. If you had that in mind at all, so we can kind of start at the MVP. Who would be your MVP at the halfway mark? We're just past 41 games for most guys anyway. So if you had to pick an MVP for right now, not even for the long run, for who at today, who was your MVP?
I think right now, just with Embiid having missed a few games these past couple of weeks, I think I'd have Shea right now with them still being the 2 seed in the West, in a very competitive West. And his numbers have been sensational. I don't think anyone really expected them to be top 3. Like, we expected them to be good and have a lot of young talent there, but not this good. So I think he's been the main engine for that. And I think he's been a top 1 guard in the league, maybe. Honestly, I think he's been maybe the best point guard in the league this season. He's kind of a combo guard, so maybe it's cheating a little bit, but I think he's been the best guard in the league. So I probably in a league that's very dominated by good guards. So I think I'd probably have Shea there as my MVP, and Embiid would be number 2. Like, when he's been on the floor, he's been the best player in basketball. So
it seemed like I had to catch myself. Like, I was overly hating on Embiid recently. One time we talked about him,
right,
because of his own playoff success and lack thereof, whatever. But I do definitely respect Embiid and enjoy what he's been doing, and do definitely think he's fully in the MVP conversation right now.
He is.
Earned the right to be in fully in that top 3. And for folks that have him at 1, I'm not mad at it. I think he actually is 2 right now. I actually have Shea stamped at 3rd as really he is playing. And I think because of the up and down, at least recently, for this very moment, I actually would give it to Jokic again, seeing how well he's been playing. Jokic has been playing well.
He's still in the conversation, of course.
He's still trading conversation, has been doing his thing. The Nuggets are right next to the Thunder and what they have been going on. And Jokic, I've seen some great play from him yet again. It seems like when it's time to step up, he does just that. I think Matt mentioned that they beat the Celtics tonight. I didn't check the game itself, but if the Nuggets continue to do their thing,
I will say Embiid and the Sixers put a beating on the Nuggets just recently.
Yeah, I know Embiid take that matchup personally, so he definitely shows up for that as well. So yeah, definitely, I think to your point, Embiid is 1 or 2 in the race, and no lower than that. Yeah, for at the moment, so I actually still would slightly give a nod to Jokic for what he has going on over there. But yeah, if he can go build that back up, and be surely going on in the race can reclaim that to end the season. But yeah, to just seeing what at least a bit I've seen from the Nuggets yet again, I think that they're still on track, and Jokic is doing his thing yet again to claim it. So yeah, Jokic, Embiid, Shea are my 3. I do see what Shea is doing, as you pointed out, top 3, and what's going on there.
25, 12, and 9 versus 35, 12, and 6. I don't know, man. Embiid's been better than Jokic this year.
I hear you.
But I understand. Like, he's still, I think I agree. Like, he's in that top 3 conversation as well. Tatum maybe gets a little bit of love with the Boston being in the 1 seed, but I don't think
he'll want to, for sure. He might be that sure fourth spot.
Yeah. Beyond that, I mean, Kawhi's been great. Just the guys pictured here. Kawhi's been great too, but he hasn't been the MVP of the league. Great to me. I mean, if they surge up to the 1 seed, then he gets more love. But Harden has been a major part of that as well. So it might hurt having like those 3 stars there for LA. Of course, Giannis is still in the mix. It's going to be hard for him to
always.
But yeah, I think those are really the guys that are in contention. Yeah, because Minnesota, like I briefly mentioned, like you'd want to give like Edwards love, maybe Cat, but I don't know that either of them have like the MVP numbers just because they're playing like with each other. Just want to pull them up real quick. Like Ant's averaging 26, 5 and 5. Like, so he's probably
they're a good team. They have real good players in it, but none of them stand out amongst the group enough to say MVP like that. But yeah, they'll be all praise to them. A small thing I will acknowledge, we always make our jokes about it. There was a long stretch when that trade first happened with Rudy Gobert, where everybody said it was the worst trade of all time. Can we go ahead and say that it's not the case? We don't give them full praise, but we can acknowledge at least that it was not actually as bad of a trade as we thought it was.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to shit on Rudy. We do it often.
we still can at some point. We'll see how it plays out. But
yeah, patient zero for COVID in the NBA. He'll never live that down.
Right.
We've seen him cry because he didn't make an All-Star game. He's never living that down. So
Right.
there's plenty of ammo still, but to his credit, he's been great on both sides. Like they figured out how to incorporate him into the offense, and he's always been a great rim protector. So he's still got that, and their defense has been the best defense, I believe, by net rating, like in the league this season. So he's a major part of that. And yeah, so definitely credit to Rudy there. Credit to the Minnesota GM making the move and having the vision there, I guess you could say, where others didn't.
We didn't see it, but he did somehow. So salute to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely good stuff there. Definitely praise to him and what's going on with that Timberwolves squad. Again, none of them fully in the MVP race, but a lot of good pieces that deserve your attention, and we'll get more to that later on. So good stuff on that front. In regards to MVP, we kind of both shared our top three. Anyone else you kind of mentioned? Anyone else you might want to even throw in discussion real quick?
I don't think so.
Okay, so moving on from there, the rookie race is still a two-man race because of the two aliens we got at the front of it. Who you lean with in the rookie of the year race right now? You have Chet still, who was your pick for the season, or you Wemby has done enough even with the team failure to be number one, as his jersey said.
Yeah, it's tough. Chet especially had been on a really, really hot streak of playing well. I think the last couple games it hasn't been as efficient as he has been for most of the season, but yeah, it's clearly a two-horse race. We got Jaime there as these guys are 1A, 1B, so Jaime there is number 2, I guess.
Yeah.
I think just looking at the stats right now, so Chet was at 17, 7 and 3, 2.5 blocks. Wemby, I feel like their numbers are really close. Wemby's at 20, 10 and 3 blocks a game.
Also, was pointing it out though, Wemby's doing it in under 25 minutes per game, as they have been kind of limited right now. Yeah. Also, Wemby's doing it without Shea and Jalen Williams and all those guys next to him also.
Right.
So it kind of holds a little bit more weight. So that into your pick as you're still leaning Chet.
It does. And Chet, I think, has won the efficiency battle, and of course the team success battle, but Wemby probably has a slight edge, I think, right now. Just how he's been playing Gumby versus Gumby. So yeah, I think Wemby has the slight edge right now, but it's a two-horse race.
Yeah, two-horse race. I lean Wemby. I've been leaning Wemby the whole time. Rolling with him. Appreciate him cooking on my fantasy team as well. Definitely good stuff on that front. And I definitely salute to Chet. I acknowledge that he truly is 1A, 1B right next to Wemby in our discussions. And the Thunder again had the vision, have put together a great core, and seeing them all really live up to the hype as we thought. There were folks even still weren't sure if Chet would actually play out this way. Respectfully, folks thought he might end up being in like kind of who's the other big 7-foot guy they already have on the roster? Thought he would be another version.
On whose roster?
On the Thunder, the Poka Chev, I forgot his name.
Poku? Yeah, he's not a big like that though.
Not a big. They thought Chet would kind of just play the same kind of way, but he's been a lot more forceful and really claiming himself on that Thunder squad and making that core really show to be maybe the best young core under 25. However you want to rank it, they definitely are a very, very solid young core right now. Without looking up yet again for the Thunder. So them what they're doing.
Yeah, Wemby doesn't have the benefit of playing with an MVP caliber player in SGA and a great loster around him. Like
the other way, they've been joking about.
So him playing this well amid the circumstances in San Antonio, he probably gets it at this point.
Yeah, I think he fully is a Slenderman. He had the Halloween costume of it as well. He fully has stepped into that. Great nickname if he keeps that. And just excited to see what all is next with him. Going on from there, any notable awards we'll mention, a most improved player, anybody else that caught your eye? We've been doing our OK segments during the season. Who would you put as your most improved right now?
I think that's still kind of a two-horse race to me, too, between Maxey and Scotty Barnes. Is there anyone else that off the top of your head you think of?
Can I find this picture real quick? I want to get, I think as well as those two guys are, and I definitely appreciate them for what they're doing, not Derek White, my God, Matt, but I actually picked Jalen Johnson. Seeing what he's been doing in Atlanta and how he's turned up over there.
In there, yeah.
He had a little stretch where he was out. So if injuries all of a sudden play a factor, he's out for he had that month stretch or whatever. He was sitting down. Then sure. But Jalen Johnson, what he's doing, he's a Derek White too. Y'all got to chew with Derek White. We definitely appreciate him and all of that. I definitely hear that. But in regards to other guys.
Derek White's got to be in the discussion for MIP. Like, that's more reasonable than him being an all-star starter or something.
He's a good player, y'all. He's a good player.
He could be in the MIP discussion, man.
Sure. You go ahead and give that to him then. Yeah.
Like Matt said, if he doesn't get an all-star, he'll get MIP. I don't know if it's that cut and dry. I don't think it's that cut and dry, but I think he'll get some consideration for MIP. I think Maxey is probably the leader in the clubhouse, and Scotty Barnes is there too, and maybe Jalen Johnson. He's been playing really well too. So yeah. But
yeah, no, Jalen Johnson definitely caught my attention, and I think beyond the notable names that we already have seen, even the Derek White, who's notable. Jokes aside, I think Jalen Johnson deserves how he's elevated for this Hawk squad this year. He's become their second, third option at times as Trey and DeJounte figure things out. So definitely wanted to give him praise during this segment. So any other notable names beyond the obvious you wanted to throw out there too?
I'm trying to think, just running through the teams. I don't know that he's been that consistent for a good chunk of the year, but I think recently he's come on. Is it Max Hawkins, the shooter on Pelicans? I forget his first name. Jordan Hawkins. Yeah. He's come on of late for the Pelicans. But, what?
G says Derek White like there's a gun pointing at him off screen.
He refuses to give any Celtic credit. Anyone else? MIP. No, I don't think so. I mean, Kobe White, maybe, as you mentioned, Kobe White.
Who's Kobe? He's been hooping. Correct.
Orlando has kind of fallen off, so I don't know if there are any other guys could be in there. RJ Barrett, since coming home to Toronto, has been really good. But
only a couple games, but I hear you in that. Only a couple games so far.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Definitely a lot of fun stuff going on there. Any other awards you want to throw out there real quick? Coach of the year, is anything that stand out to you? Maybe the Timberwolves coach, something like that. I don't know.
Probably. Is that Finch? Is that Chris Finch? Is that?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, you should probably get the nod if they get the 1 seed. A guy who hasn't won it before. That was a kind of an unexpected team. I think right now the Timberwolves, they have to be viewed as like the old Utah Jazz. How the Utah Jazz would get the 1 seed and flame out. We got to see them do it first.
Correct.
Before we fully stamp them, but they've done a great job there for sure.
Definitely we'll see how that play out. But yeah, definitely fun things going on in regards to our awards. We'll end the award stuff for right now. We did last year. We had our own fake awards. We'll save that part for next week and come back to that next time around. The last kind of real thing I wanted to point to, there's 2 things. The one thing real quick was the Olympics. They announced they're going to be there. They're about to pick their top 30 for the Olympics. Any thoughts on guys that should be in the mix for the Olympics?
I mean, the obvious usual suspects like that.
Do you want to go big names as they mentioned, or you want to kind of run back what we had during the what was the last games we played in with the other guys? FIBA.
Yeah.
You want to run back that squad?
No, I mean, wasn't there like LeBron was already making calls, right? Like they already have. Yeah. They've talked about the veterans we're gonna take our big guns to this fight. Essentially. So yeah, I think. That's always the most fun to watch. Like it's fun to see them dominate, and also like there are teams that can still make it competitive, like a Spain or others that can still compete with some of our big guns. So I think it'll be fun to see kind of a last hurrah for some of these guys, because in another 4 years they're probably going to be retired. Some of these guys too. So it'll be fun to see the KD, Steph, LeBron, not Giannis, but like the US superstars like that battling. I hope like Embiid doesn't play for the US. Like that feels like cheating.
He said he was.
Yeah, come on, man. Like just go play for one of your countries, man. But yeah, like I bringing those guys and then some of the young dudes that are up and coming as well, like a Derek White. I'm playing. But like Anthony Edwards, of course, like those young superstars too would be fun as well.
Yeah, for sure. When we took into it, I saw Gilbert Arenas said, just take the 12 best guys in the NBA, just grab all of them, or the 12 best American guys in the NBA, just grab all the KD, LeBron, Steph, just grab all of them and say, we're not playing around this time. Let's go and make sure we make our mark as the rest of the world is starting to catch up in regards to basketball and how I think they've been playing. So, yeah, we'll see. I kind of have the same thought. Let's go ahead and give them the last hurrah, go out there and leave their mark. LeBron out there should be a great time. Yeah. And, yeah, I'll be tuned into that either way. So
and they didn't even win FIBA. So we got to get a win here. Like, we can't mess around with this stuff anymore.
Gotta go gold for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be checking that out. And, yeah, again, we'll be tuned into it. Basically that in 04. Did what in 04? Ran back the whole squad?
I mean, they lost in 04. What did they get, silver?
Yeah. So he said didn't go well. So I'm assuming that's what we're talking about when we put all the stars in and just try to make it happen. So we'll formulate it some kind of way. But yeah, we'll be tuned into it. Ryan's asking for
you got to tap in, man. We've talked about this.
Yeah, go to LA Sports Report and scroll down it's like 2 videos. We just talked a couple of times about Caleb. We talked about Justin Fields and what to do with them. You can even go on to our Twitter. If you're on our Twitter, go straight to our page and scroll a little bit. I posted our video a few times. There's a discussion about Justin Fields and what's going on with him. Caleb Williams. Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, what's going on in the draft and what they should do about that. We've had a few discussions definitely on there for you to check out. So it's there, and we'll have NFL talks each week as well later on, and tap back into those, and we'll bring it back up. So fun stuff there. The last thing I do want to bring up though was the NFL. Our last look at the playoffs before we get out of here. Just a last thought. We gave our picks, but as time has gone on, any updated thoughts on what's going to go on tomorrow? Any change of thought? Anything about what you're about to see?
I think just what we talked about at the end, like a little bit of concern for the Ravens, but I think they get the job done.
I made a note on our notes before the show, just that I'm low key in a way glad Marlon Humphrey is going to be out for the Ravens game. And of course, you want him in because we want to have our pieces and we want to make sure we play well. But there's a lot of talk about how people are starting to they want the Texans to win. They're becoming everybody's favorite underdog this week.
The people's champ, yeah.
The people's champ. There are a lot of folks that kind of want to see Lamar's downfall get again and all of that.
That's the only thing I hate. Like, I want the Ravens to win because of that.
There's that part that I hate, but also they're saying, oh, even Lamar does win because of the great defense and all the pieces around them. And the same thing they're kind of saying about the Niners with Purdy, whatever. So just saying if they win this week and it's without Marlon Humphreys and pieces like that, Lamar, we can say, hey, Lamar won. And yes, the defense was there, but we didn't have Marlon. So y'all can stop saying the defense, though I'm sure they're still going to make their mark. But just to have a game where he can really make his impact felt. I think this would be a great one going up against a young guy who we're also rooting for, and CJ Stroud. I think it's going to be a great game. In a way, obviously, as a Raven fan who's wanting this all season long, I'll be hurt if we lose. There's no doubt about it. But I'll definitely be rooting for the Texans and see what they've been doing. Big fan of what CJ Stroud has become. Big fan of Miko Ryans and the staff there. So I'll be happy for them as much as it would hurt to see my team lose. So it is a win-lose in a way, but it's not. I'll still be supporting one of those squads going the rest of the way. So, that was the one point I wanted to make about it. But still rolling with the Ravens in that. Still rolling with the Chiefs in the Chiefs-Bills game. Still rolling with the Lions in the Lions-Bucks game. And going with the Niners in the Niners-Packers game with all respect to Jordan Love over there as well. So, same picks still. But, yeah, we'll be tuned into it. And, yeah, you said no other thought?
No, I'm right there with you. I think the Ravens do win it this week. It's like I said, it's going to feed families. CJ Stroud versus Lamar Jackson. I think for Lamar to get more of that stamp and people not being able to discredit him, he's got to beat the Bills or the Chiefs in the next round for sure.
For sure.
So obviously you can't look past that, the Texans, but that's one of those games where you can really stamp his impact on this team, and you can't just use the defense being the reason why they win or whatever. So I'm looking forward to some of those matchups too. But this weekend should be hopefully fun, because last weekend it's a lot of bloodbaths in that first round. So yeah.
So hopefully we get some more great games. I would tuned into it. It's gonna be a fun one. And we checked in. So good stuff on that front. Now we pretty close as we do the end our chill episodes. Gotta do a grid. Gotta get some grids in.
Okay.
We got NBA grids. First off, we do the I call game. Usually it loads up right when we click it. So you ready? You locked in already?
I'm locked in.
All right, here we go. Is it pulled up? Here we go. Oh, that's the infamous Harden versus. So first off,
it's not on the screen. It's not on the screen for me.
Hold. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, the infamous Harden step back that went viral. The Rockets were the away team, though. That was here in LA.
Yeah.
So
is that Wesley Johnson?
Wesley Johnson for sure. I'm blanking. Where's he at?
Clippers? You looking for Clippers or Rockets?
Rockets were the away team. Home team was the Clippers. Why can I not see logo?
Next to the Lakers.
Oh, okay. My God. All right. My bad. Okay, got that. Next round. The year Rockets. He was on the Rockets from
I'm thinking 2015-ish.
I'm like 2015. That sounds about right to me.
Okay.
2015 sounds right. No. Okay.
So a little later.
Okay.
2016. Let's see who else on the floor.
Eric Gordon's right there. Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl on the Lakers on what year? We won that was later though. Montrez is right there. Wes is there. Nene, is that Nene? Nene was there a while ago. So it's like 2015, 2016.
How long was Wesley Johnson on the Lakers? Was he still there in 2016?
Wes was on the Lakers before that, right? I thought he was on the Lakers before Clippers.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if this was 2016 or 2017.
Is that Jeff Green maybe over there?
I can't tell who that is.
I thought Jeff Green was on the squad too.
Could try 2016. I feel like this team kind of played against the Warriors too. Oh wow, 2018.
Jeez. All right, well, damn. All right then. So what is it asking? What's the next question then? Oh, next round. This was a regular season game, I thought, correct?
I believe so. You can look at the previous pictures too.
There's nothing on any of those that says playoffs.
Right. So yeah, it should be regular season.
Yeah. Okay. Got that. Bang. The coaches, I think Doc was the Clippers coach still. No.
Could be Doc. Yeah.
Can we see anybody?
Doc and McHale, right?
Doc. Kevin McHale. Not the coach.
D'Antoni then still?
Yeah. Bang.
There we go.
Next round. Players. I said Nene. No? Was that not Nene? Unless I spelled it wrong. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
Nene. Jeff
Harden.
Green, I thought. No. Harden, of course.
Eric Gordon.
That wasn't the Chris Paul year.
2018. Is Capella on there?
Capella, great grab. Any deep dive names on there?
Doesn't really matter. We just need 13 plus total.
Okay.
Whoever you can think of.
Wesley Johnson.
Yeah.
Was that still
Clippers 2018? Chris Paul.
Monta Eunice. How you even? That's not even how you spell it. Monta.
Wait, who are you thinking of?
No, Matt said DeMontis.
Start with DeMontis then, I guess. I don't know.
He said you can spell it right.
Oh,
okay. I know who he's talking about too, but I have no clue how to spell his name. DeMontis.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save that. You can go ahead and find that for us. Who else on the Clippers? Any? Was that Blake Griffin still?
Was Chris still there?
Oh, Montrez. I got the name already. Was that Lou Will? Lou Will.
Lou Will should still be there, yeah. Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly should be there also. 1-2 punch. Oh no.
They might not have played either. It has to be guys that played. Who else would have been on that?
No, not Boban. Who's this?
That looks like Boban. See how tall that dude is?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, it is Boban. All right. I was trying to. All right. Boban. All right.
Would Tobias have still been there, or would he already be in Philly? Because I know they were teammates at one point.
Tobias on where?
On LA.
He was on. I don't think he was on this Clippers.
Yeah, he might have already been in Philly at this point.
The Nodis for
the Rockets. That'd be for the Rockets, I think. Yeah.
Monty. No.
Nah.
Still no. Well, you tried. How many more do we need?
2018. 5 more total. 2018.
That wasn't. Where's Chris Paul at this point?
He might. I said to guess him.
Nope.
He might have been on OKC.
This wasn't the Russ year with him. Was PJ Tucker on this squad?
That's a good guess.
PJ Tucker was there. Who else was on this?
Who else was on that Rockets team where they missed like 26 threes?
It was a small ball squad. No, I think we said Eric Gordon.
It was like Daniel House on that team or something?
Daniel House.
No, not yet.
No. Daniel House. I can't think of nobody else on the squad. It's killing me.
No one else feeding us names?
Huh?
I said no one else feeding us names?
Nobody else feeding us names. I don't know ball. It's all right. It's all right.
Knows ball clearly.
I don't know.
Who's in the headband? Was Austin Rivers still on this LA team?
Yep. Good grab. Josh Smith.
No, he's probably already out the league.
No, it's 2018. He said he's done in 2017, so it can't be Josh Smith.
Josh Smith. 3 more. Who else would have been on that Clippers team? I feel like we don't have any of the stars for the Clip. Who was the star on this Clippers?
Did we try Blake already?
I felt like he was already in Detroit. We could try him.
Yeah, Blake was gone. So who did Blake get traded for?
Good question.
Oh, God.
Who was that? Because I don't remember the Clippers like being like bad for too long. Like they scraped into a playoff spot.
I was about to say, low-key, was Shea here? 2018?
Yeah. No.
Shea, Clippers. Wasn't he 2018? All right, I guess not.
Damn.
Yeah, you might just hold the L on that one.
Any more Rockets we can think of?
I'm rocking out.
Yeah, might have to take the L then.
Last call. Anyone in the comments? Matt, Ryan, somebody got any Rockets from 2018?
There's got to be a couple like obvious names.
Yeah, I know, but
it was what's his name? Omer Ashik. Is he still on the Rockets?
Omer Ashik is a good grab.
Try him.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. Throwing up bricks. I don't know. Yeah, you and us both. There's somebody obvious. There's obvious names here. I'm going to be so good. All right.
We're missing like starters here, I think. So
for sure.
All right, we can submit.
Yeah. All right. Gerald Green, Trevor Ariza. Oh, Tobias was there.
Tobias, you didn't even guess Tobias?
Oh. I thought I did. Sam Decker
was still there.
Darius Cornwell. Yeah, of course.
Hey, that's an elite name, man.
Yeah. Tariq Black, Joe Johnson was over there. Oh my
Oh,
God,
Trevor
Paul was
Ariza.
there.
Oh,
Paul was there for the.
but we had him. We guessed him for Clippers.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Joe
Oh, there's
Green,
another round.
Bobby.
Final shot of the game.
I
I don't know this shit. What?
Just throw Harden on there. I don't know.
Yeah. Luke.
Who else is a star?
Montrez.
Montrez? No way I was guessing that.
We weren't getting that. All right. So that's that. We can go ahead and try one NBA grid. Your call, NBA hoop grid. Oh, let's just look at what they're
looking like.
So this is hoop grids.
Okay.
We'll next go to
Played in
Immaculate.
the 2010s. Okay.
Men's basketball. This is Immaculate grid. What's the last one? Oh, crossover grid.
I like those teams. What's the last? Let's see what the last one looks like.
This one might be it. This is a good one. Didn't attend college. Game-winning buzzer beater. Celtics, Nuggets, Hawks, Heat.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. As we do.
7 minutes on the clock. That'll be 8.
Let's go ahead. 7 minutes on the clock. Starting now. Let's go. Celtics didn't attend college.
KG, right? Did he
KG,
go to?
Obvious. Let's just fill it out. We're just trying to fill it out. Oh, Sebastian Telfair. We'll take that as well.
Nice.
This is guesses, so not unlimited. So remember that. Celtics Hawks, Dominique Wilkins. We'll go ahead and take that.
I didn't realize he played for the Celtics.
Yeah, he had one random weird.
Was that like a twilight year of his?
Yeah. Celtics Nuggets.
I feel like a recent name for that, but I don't know.
Celtics Nuggets.
Matt, just go ahead and fill out the Celtics one for us, if you please.
Gerald Green, no. I'll let him respond to that.
I don't think Denver.
Did Ty Lawson ever play for it? No.
I don't think Boston. No.
Tyson Chandler, no.
Who didn't attend college from Miami? LeBron
will count. Chuck Atkins, what the hell? LeBron, game-winning buzzer beater. Let's go ahead and put our guy Kobe in there. Didn't attend college either.
Oh yeah.
Take that one. Hawks, game-winning buzzer beater.
DeJounte Murray, would that count?
I'm scared to put that. You want to try it? I don't know if it's updated that fast. It literally just happened like 2 days ago.
It happened though.
That's good. We'll
count it. We'll count it if they don't.
They didn't. They update the system, man.
We'll count that as not a wrong answer.
Yeah, we got one on that one. A weird one for Celtics Nugs. I hate these Nugs. Nuggets, please.
Why do you think Nugs?
Chuck Atkins. We'll try that. Atkins. Okay, appreciate that. It's a deep dive. No base. Nuggets Heat. Nuggets buzzer beater. Jokic also got one this year, but I don't know if that's recent enough for them to put that.
That's true. Yeah, he got one this year.
I'm sure
Melo ever get. I'm sure he'll be highly guessed too. But
whatever. We're trying to pull out the board. We got 4 minutes. Hawks. Did Trae Young ever have a buzzer beater? Trae Young, Darren Williams. I think just popular people.
Yeah. I'm sure Trae has.
Joe Johnson. If you want to dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson. We're going with that.
You can. I don't know if he did it in a Hawks jersey, but
then I'll do Trae. Oh, we just said DeJounte, didn't we? Oh yeah, we said we got that one already.
Yeah, we don't have to do that one again.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one. All right, so 2 guesses left. Nuggets Heat. Nuggets Heat. I'm going completely blank right now.
Iguodala.
Of course. Yeah, you know. Great grab. All right, last one for a perfect board. Hawks and the Heat. I always go Jeff Green. I don't know if Jeff Green played for the Heat
I
though.
don't think he played for the Heat. Yeah.
For some reason, because we just saw him as well. Did Lukenba Amute play for the Hawks? I think he played for the Heat, right?
I don't remember him playing for
real
either of
random
those teams. I don't know.
Jay Crowder.
I thought of him, but I feel like I was getting him confused with Damari Carroll.
Damari might have also.
He played for the Hawks. I don't know if he played for the Heat.
Yeah, the Hawks are all the dreadheads.
Come on, man.
What? That's not racist or nothing. It's not racist.
Racist. Just
the way the Nuggets held tattoo guys a while ago. Same thing, whatever.
Hawks Heat.
We got 2 minutes.
I feel like it's harder for me to think of Hawks players.
Kyle Lowry bounced around before the Heat.
Not Atlanta though.
Not Atlanta. He was on like Memphis and Toronto.
Yeah.
And Houston. He was on Houston too. 140.
Does what's his name? I feel like you said one of the Greens. Does Gerald Green?
Very possibly. I'm willing to try it. We got a minute left.
What do you think, Matt? Gerald Green for Hawks Heat?
Jared or Jeff. Tongue twister right there.
I don't think Jeff played for Miami.
I think Gerald did.
I think he did.
For some reason, Rashard Lewis just came to mind. Did Rashard Lewis play for?
I don't think so.
The Hawks.
He played for Miami.
Did Carlos Arroyo play for the Hawks?
He played for Miami. I don't know if he played for the Hawks. That could be a good grab.
Did Hassan Whiteside play for the Hawks at any point?
Not the Hawks, no.
Dwight was a Hawk, not a Heat.
Right.
Did
Cephalosha, did he play for both?
I don't think he played for the Heat.
Okay.
Did Kyle Korver play for the
Not for the Heat.
Yeah,
Cephalosha and Gerald Green are my guesses. I don't.
All right, we got 10 seconds, so I'm putting Gerald Green. Okay. Final answer. And we didn't get it. All right, so we got 8 of 9 because we gave ourselves to Dejounte because they didn't have it in there. But
horseshoe. Yeah.
Good grid to end it.
Are there answers down there?
Al Horford, Joe Johnson did play for both of them. Trae Young at the bottom. Jokic, they did have Jokic on there, or maybe because it was before, but I don't know. But Jeff Green was on the Nuggets, Celtics. Good stuff there.
Yeah.
Good grid. Building from last week. Last week we did bad. We had like 5 or 9 or whatever. So building up. But that is it. I think I'm doing an NFL grid. We'll save that for next week. Those can take some time. But yeah, a lot of good stuff here. Chill stuff. We gave you an extra hour of just chill content, just hanging out with you guys, talking about stuff around the league. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like the Twitter admins. Feel from Twitter is going to be tapping in. So we'll continue to have Twitter as our third option. We're always going to be on Twitch and on YouTube. I saw Matt send a message asking how we should do it. Matt, just tap in however you want to tap in. If you want to keep YouTube live, keep YouTube live. If you want to be on Twitch, be on Twitch. Either way, we appreciate the support. And we'll definitely show love. Our comments show all the comments from Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So wherever we're at, we'll see your comments either way. So definitely appreciate you for doing that. And for those that are here till the end, thank you for tapping in as you guys do. Again, we'll try to be on schedule next week in regards to having an NFL episode on Tuesday. We may have an NFL or NBA episode on Wednesday or Thursday, and then a shorter chill stream on Friday for you guys. Try to get 3 streams of them sometime a week will be great. We'll aim for that and see what we can do. But beyond that, again, lastly, tap into LA Sports Report. Show love there. The stuff from the beginning of the episode you saw are real conversations about all the things around LA, Lakers, Clippers, and all of that will be there. Some of our NFL discussions might be there as well as things go along in the playoffs. Though LA is no longer involved, there's some news in regards to head coaching, Harbaugh and stuff that we may be there later on. We'll continue to update you guys on what's what around LA and the leagues that deserve your attention. So great things there. Great chill show for you guys. Alec, any final words as we get out of here?
Nah, I don't think so. Excited for the playoffs this weekend.
Yeah. Excited for the playoffs tomorrow. We tapped in. Being Twitch as it is, I'll say I might go do a solo live reaction to one of the games after tomorrow. We'll see. But Twitch being what it is allows us to show up when we want and talk with you guys as we please. So we'll be around when we can, and definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure you follow us on all platforms. And that is it, man. Great stream in the books. And we'll see you guys again real soon. See y'all next week, man. Peace.
Deuces.